Dearly beloved, welcome to the April 15th Magic Mind. Today, I'm going to guide a little process. This is something that anytime we work with a big partnership project, this is one of the first things that we do after we get clear on what the intentions of the partnership are, is just going through a simple brand script process that kind of mirrors a hero's journey for your ideal client. This comes from the website My Story Brand. My old business partner, Andy, got me really into this. He did a bunch of the trainings with the Story Brand company, and then he's adapted this process that we're going through today. And then I've just been using it ever since Andy and I were business partners because it's just a really fun way to map out who your people are, who you want to be serving, what you want to be doing. And so here's how it's going to work. We have this document right here. I'll share my screen real quick so you can see it. And you're going to get you're going to go bullet points for each of these answers. And you're going to copy and paste into your own document wherever you want to put this. You're going to go bullet points and you're going to get about 75 seconds per question to answer them. And then after you've answered all the questions down here, you're going to come through and you're going to get about just under, well, you get about 5 minutes to go through all of your answers for all the questions. And you're going to bold your top three answers for each different category. And what this is meant to do is it's going to help you tell the story better about who you're serving, what their desires are, what their problems are, what the inner and outer villains might be that are giving them struggles, and all the things that are important for you to tell better stories to your newsletter, tell more relatable stories, make sure that your messaging is on point. And my hopes are that this exercise is going to give you a bunch of just creative fuel for the coming weeks and everything that you're already doing. So that is the plan. Before we dive in, any questions? Sweet. Okay, let's do it. I'm going to get my timer out and I'll go through each question one at a time. And the idea of this is to not overthink it. Just, I'm going to ask the question and you're going to just answer in bullet point form all of the first things that come to mind for each of the categories. Uh, you should be able to copy and paste this into your own document. So you just want to highlight it and then copy paste into wherever.
Oh, I didn't get the link. Can you share the link again?
Oh, yeah. There you go. Okay. So once you get that, just give you 30 seconds. Everybody take a few breaths, calling in all the inspiration that we want and need for more clarity, more alignment, more direction, better communication, clearer in what we're offering, why we're offering it, who we're offering it to, what their struggles might be, which might have mirrored some of our past struggles, and so that we can write better stories, create more aligned content for them, and all the good things that support us to be a better creator and better, even more in service to the people that we're intending to be serving. So, uh, Fran, welcome. Copy and paste the link that is in the chat. We are about to start an exercise, and what you want to do is copy and paste this, and we're going to give 75 seconds per question. So we're going to begin now. The first question is about your character. Now, a lot of people, and I know I used to do this and still sometimes catch myself doing this, they think that they are the character in the hero's journey of their business. For example, me thinking that I'm actually the hero, but that's not the truth. The truth is your ideal customer, your customer avatar, the people that you're trying to serve, they're the hero, you're the guide. You're Dumbledore, they're Harry Potter. You know what I mean? That's the deal here as far as it goes. So we want to make sure that we position them as the hero and we recognize them on their hero's journey. So all of the things that you could imagine, how do you define your audience? Who are these people? What are they like? So just all the things that come to mind. Are they middle age? Are they teachers? Do they do yoga? How do you define who these people are? So you're going to take 75 seconds. all the things that come to your mind. That is a cat's butt in the camera. I saw that, Crystal. How rude. And we're gonna go from there. So take 75 seconds and then we'll go to the next question. And don't overthink it. Okay, so that's question number one. However many you got, all good. We're going on to the desire. So, what do your ideal customers, your avatar, want as it relates to your product or service? Are they looking for inner peace? Are they looking to decrease stress? Do they feel anxious and they just don't want to feel those feelings anymore? What is it that your customer desires? So, take 75 seconds, go for it. Okay, so now on to the next one. What is a problem your customer is dealing with as it relates to your product? So this is an external problem. This is the things that are happening on the outside, not the internal thing, not about how it makes them feel, but what is the struggle? They don't have enough money, they don't feel educated, they are struggling in a relationship. What are some of the problems that they might be facing? Take 75 seconds and go. All right, now onto the internal. So they have this problem. Now, how's the problem making them feel? What are some of the feelings that they're experiencing as a result of the problem and the lack of clarity on how to satisfy the desire? What are they feeling? So take 75 seconds and go. Okay, so the next question here, I'm actually doing some fleshing out. I'm going to make this script for all, or this document even better for you all while I'm working on it. So we're now going to the villain. So the villain is there a system, a belief, a trend, or a force that's making this worse? So we're looking at the villain. We're personifying the problem. Can you give this villain a name or exaggerated persona? What does this villain say or do that's keeping your customer stuck? So maybe there's a deep seated belief system that stems from something in their life, something societal, that is causing them to feel stuck. For example, for people with the thriving in business without social media is like you can do business without social media. The villain might be the marketing gurus of the internet who are telling people that they have to be on social media and posting 3 times a day. And that's created this deep-seated belief system throughout all of the online business ecosystems where everybody just keeps working away and they keep posting and hoping that someday it changes and it never does. So that could be a villain that exist for that particular training that I could tackle. So, who or what could the villains be for your particular customer? So, I'll take 75 seconds and just see what comes through. Okay, so now let's go into the philosophical. What greater truth or justice is being violated here? So, why does this matter in the bigger picture of their life or society? So, why does it matter that this problem gets solved for them? If a wise elder or child spoke about this problem, what would they say? So this is meant to be more of the greater philosophical piece. So like again, example, thriving in business without social media. Why is this a problem? Is people are scrolling their lives away. They're spending countless hours wasting their time with a zero return on investment. Their business is struggling as a result of all the wasted time and lack of clear strategy. And so that's a big problem. In the grand scheme of things, it's a reason to make a change. And so for your particular audience, why is it that you feel that there's an injustice or that it's not right that they're struggling with this problem? Take 75 seconds and see what comes through. Okay, now onto the fun stuff. They meet a guide. So we're looking to to create some empathy here. What's something you've personally experienced that helps you relate? What's that connection point in your story and their stories? What are the common phrases or emotions you hear from your customers that you can echo back to them? So, for example, I wanted to leave social media for 3 years. I saw, all of these pieces around the division it creates, etc., blah, blah, blah. So, for you, what's that relation point between your customer story and struggles and what you've experienced to show some empathy? So, just write down some bullet points and see what comes through. Right. So, I don't love the word authority, but we want to just showcase what proof, credentials, results, or stories you can share that would help show them that you are trustworthy. What have you done in this realm? Whether it's your own personal transformation, whether it's the trainings you've gone through, the number of people that you've worked with, etc. How can you demonstrate your track record without sounding boastful? Have you walked the same path? Do you really know what it's like to be in their shoes? If so, make a list of bullet points on some of the things that help you to show that. And go. Okay, so next one. You give them a plan. This is about the process. So, what are the absolute simplest steps they need to take? Where do most people get stuck in the process and how do you help them get through? So, can you imagine the process with metaphors, images, or a story? Now, this you could do a much deeper dive. This is has to do with your map. So, it might be, your map might be sign up for my signature workshop where you're going to learn XYZ, join my program that's going to dig deeper into that particular course. So, if you can imagine their map, what are the first and most important steps they can take? So, we've already identified what they're struggling with, how that makes them feel, etc. If you've got, a couple minutes with this person and they were open to your feedback and your suggestions, what are the steps that you would facilitate for them to take? Go for it. 75 seconds. All right. So now going on to the agreement. So imagine they're ready to take a step. They're ready to commit to a new path. What objections or hesitations may they have before, say, investing in your program or your coaching? What fears or risks do they need to neutralize before they decide whether they want to work with you or not? Every person that's going to sign up for a program or hire a coach is going to be like, is this just a dead end? Are they going to get me the results? So, what are some of the hesitations they may have before jumping in? and working with you, and what can you guarantee or promise? So, for example, I do my bigger coaching sessions. I have a guarantee that if they invest and by the time we're finished the agreed upon time, if they haven't made their money back from that investment, I continue working with them until they've made their money back. So it's just a simple guarantee that can reassure them. And it's like, I'm committed to your progress. So, what kind of commitments or promises can you share that can help reassure them about some of these hesitations they have? So, take 75 seconds and see what you come up with. All right. Now comes the time to call them to adventure. What is the number one action you want them to take? Is it to buy something? Is it to join your signature workshop? Is it to sign up for a thing? Is it to book 15 minutes with you? What is the number one action? You've got them for just a moment. You've created some resonance. What do you want them to do? And is your call to action crystal clear and confidently stated? Are you making it easy for somebody to say yes to you? So, write down your one call to action and write out multiple iterations if you have to see which one's the best. Let's take 75 seconds and go. All right. First step. Now, this next one, the transitional thing is like this is all about your free opt-in. So what is it that you're giving them that gives a taste of what you do, the potential transformation that's available? This is the first step up the mountain. This is probably your signature workshop is a big piece of this. Getting them to come join you live is a great way to help them understand what's possible. So take 75 seconds and just see if you can get the language so it feels good and clear here.
Hey Bradley.
Yeah,
Sorry, I'm wondering how this part's different from the CTA, or is it just kind of expanding on it?
I think it's expanding on it. Yeah.
Okay, cool.
It's
Thank you.
it's been a while since I've led one of these, so I'm catching myself up to speed here too.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah, yeah. All right, let's dig into painting a picture of success. So, like in the map that I share around the ultimate transformation, this is where we're talking about what is the top of the mountain that you lead people towards. What does their life look like after they've gone through your program, hired you, worked with you, done the thing that you're leading them towards? Uh, I love this question here. What would their friends or partner notice that's different? What feelings or experiences will define their new normal that they have? So, if they quit social media and they focus just on relationships-based marketing and choose two things, they're gonna have more time, more focus. Their marketing will work. It'll be more effective. They'll grow their list, etc. So, for your people, based on the steps you're getting them to take, if they join you on this wild adventure and they climb to the top of your metaphorical mountain, what's life look like on the other side? So brainstorm that, 75 seconds, and go. Okay, so on to the next one here. What's at stake if they don't take action? So, how does inaction keep them stuck in the same loop? What future pain, regret, or missed opportunity are they trying to avoid? Which is something that's it's an important piece, with thriving in biz without social media. The big thing is like if they just keep posting and hoping, and that becomes the strategy that people continue with, is like they're gonna keep getting the same results as like email list won't grow, income will stay around the same, they're going to just be wasting more and more time. They're going to have less time for the things they actually want to be doing, etc. So these are things that they're trying to avoid. And if they don't take action and they figure out this new strategy, then that's what they're risking. So for your work, what's at stake if they don't do anything, if they just continue on as life is right now? Take 75 seconds. All right. Now we're going to talk about the character transformation. So, what do they describe themselves when how or sorry, how do they describe themselves when they're struggling? What stories are they telling themselves about who they are? What emotion colors their experience before they meet you? So I know for sure the thriving in biz without social media is like people feel like they're shitty entrepreneurs and like their business is failing. They're struggling. They feel like they're wasting time. Um, they feel frustrated because they've invested so much into trying to get a following and it's just not working or converting. So those are some of the stories for sure. So for your customers, where are they? How do they describe themselves? So maybe you've talked to a lot of people. Uh, you've done interviews with your audience. What are some of the ways that they describe themselves? So take 75 seconds and go for it with that one.
Can you give an example?
For this one, how do they describe
Yep.
themselves?
Yep.
I mean, for you, it might be they're drowning in clutter. They're feeling like they don't even know themselves anymore. They feel disconnected from who they used to be. These are stories that they're probably telling themselves,
Okay, so it's kind of the same as the first question at the top.
but trying to do it in their own words.
Okay, gotcha.
Okay, and now we're going, so that's the from, now we're going to two. So this is who they're becoming. What does the best version of themselves look like and feel like? What will they believe about themselves after going through your process, buying your course, training, coaching, whatever it is that you're offering them? If they do the full journey, what will they believe about themselves after using the product? And what identity or lifestyle shift are they stepping into? This is really important stuff when you're writing copy is to paint the picture for who they're becoming and what life will be like at the other side of this. You know, when we go through a transformation, we become a completely different person of ourselves, and we're all here as transformation facilitators. We're here to guide people through transformation, whether it's mental, emotional, physical, monetary, whatever it is, that's what we're doing. And we need to paint that picture beautifully on what they look like, what life looks like, what the best version of themselves looks and feels like, etc. So take 75 seconds, see what comes through for you. All right, this next one's pretty fun. So we're going to create a one-liner uh, based on the problem that you've identified, choosing one of those problems, one of the solutions to the outcome. So, for example, if I was to do it for thriving in business without social media, I would say something along the lines of like, I support people who are stuck in the rat race of social media and getting no results to learn relationships based marketing so that they can authentically and more easily grow their audience, allowing them to free up their time and do the thing that they enjoy most, which is teaching and transforming lives. So that could be the problem, solution, and outcome. So you're going to look at your problem statements, your solution statements, and your outcome statements. And I'm going to give you double time for this one. And you're going to come up with a little bit of a statement here, a one-liner. So we'll take 3 minutes for this one and then we'll come back. And if you get your statement, feel free to share it in the chat. Awesome. You might need a little bit more time, but we'll go on to this last question here. So, the brand voice and tone, I always call this, if your brand was a person, how would people describe their personality? Um, Other questions could be, how do you want people to feel when they interact with your brand? You know, is your brand friendly? Is it professional? Is it serious? Is it philosophical? Um, I like to come up like we're going through a rebrand right now, and so we're coming up with like what the brand feel is, the aesthetic. When you land on the site, how do you want people to feel when they look at the picture, the fonts, the call to actions, etc. Um, and just as a bonus question, how would you never want people to describe your brand voice? But let's start on what you do want. So if your brand was a personality, if was a person, how would people describe it? Start with that question, and then you could also, if you get that done, the how would you never want to be described? Okay, go for it. All right. And now the last exercise. Go through all the categories. We're going to take about 5 minutes and bold the answers. Try and find three answers per category that you feel are the best. And your favorite one for each category, move to the very top so that it's first in line. Let's take about 5 minutes.
Bradley, I might be a little confused. So when you're going back up to the top for the persona, how do you define your audience? Of all the things I listed, I'm picking three.
You're picking three and you're going to bold them. That's right. So you're going to just bold them so that they stand out the most because those are things that you could use to, write copy, share a story, include in your messaging, go through your website and see if all of these points for each of them is clearly communicated throughout all the pieces of your website, your landing pages, your signature workshop, etc.
Okay, thank you.
All right. So that's the brand scripting process. Um, the intention after this, and if I were all of you, you could copy and paste that entire list of answers that you created, and you could brainstorm what kind of strategic content could you create, what kind of stories could you write, what needs to change on your website that is not necessarily being communicated in the same way. So, for example, you could copy and paste everything you just wrote, and you could copy and paste your landing page, your signature workshop page, and you could ask ChatGPT, okay, based on the brand scripting process, how do I need to update this particular landing page or this signature workshop page to better communicate who I'm trying to serve and what problems they're struggling with? Um, and I would just go page by page if I were you. You could also be like, based on this brand scripting process, give me five story or content ideas that I could share in my upcoming newsletter and just go have some brainstorming sessions. I've been really enjoying, like, I've got an awesome creative team that I work with through Magic Kids, and we brainstorm all the time. But a lot of the time, I'm in my office alone, and I've been finding more and more just brainstorming ideas, like bouncing ideas back and forth, is like this incredible thing. It's like, uh, so many cool ideas have been coming through this. It feels like a partnership with this unbelievably intelligent AI robot ecosystem that we have access to. So I would take that and just see what suggestions come through for your own branding, messaging, and content strategy so that you can just deeply weave into it and help the people that are arriving on your website feel deeply seen and confidently held by what it is that you're offering them.